And with the pull-up over Reynolds.
Tough shot. Even though Temple scored at the end right there, they score under 5 seconds. That was a good defensive possession by Tulane, where you see they're going to come out, they're going to pressure, they're going to try to take Temple out of their sets.
Blackpea trying to strengthen his finishing for the Owls this go-around. There's the switch on the defense from Tulane. It was tipped by Reynolds, and here comes Tulane with Embo. Back to Reynolds, and it's rejected by Brown.
Good transition defense there by Temple getting back. But once again, Temple's going to have to figure out this Tulane defense.
Brown, also a guy last game, struggled a little bit, fouled out with 6 minutes to go. Quentin Rose is pickpocketed away. Banks to Frazier. Trying to take Alston Jr. over Obianaccionia.
Hey, Frazier, elite defender. Elite defender. And you see it right there. Just picked his pocket. Another transition basket for Tulane.
Josh Brown inside of the no-look for Accionia. That was blocked by Cornish. But he cleans up nonetheless.
No, that's great. You see Tulane is forcing Temple's perimeter people to play in a crowd. On all penetration, there's 2, sometimes 3 people around the dribbler. They're going to have to keep making the smart passes. And the next guy line has to be ready to be a receiver. You see Temple switching those ball screens between Frazier and Reynolds.
Cornish gave it up to Paul with the flush.
Back at you. Back at you. Nice penetration, dump off to the big man.
Those ball revolvers will be key in this matchup tonight for Mike Dunleavy Sr. As Brown's rejected there, but a foul call. We'll pick it up on the other side. A good start for the Green Wave, up by 5 in Philly.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Expedia. Everything you need to go.
Foul is on Obianaccionia for Temple. Here's Reynolds off the screen and give him 7 in the matchup. 10 to shoot here for Embo. And he gets it off the window again.
And that was the same shot he had a few minutes ago, but on the other side of the court. He likes kissing that off the glass. I like seeing that.
And also you see, John, they space the floor very well in the half court. And drawing the contact is Samir Sayic again for the Green Wave. Now the Green Wave are really excelling here on the road to start American Conference action over the Temple Owls. And Ray Embo, maybe just a sophomore, a lot of confidence this year for Mike Dunleavy's team. Tulane's lone senior Cameron Reynolds is right now 9th in the American Conference in scoring. He was the conference's most improved player last year, improving his average by 11 points. That was the highest score since Josh Davis, 2012-2013. John, last year, he had to do everything. There's a lot more around him, which makes him comfortable. The goal this year in his final year, get over a 500 record and get Tulane to the dance.
And I was glad that he said that was his goal. His goal was to get to the dance. But you see, in the course of doing that, they're going to have to need him to continue to play as he's playing. So far early in this game, he's 3 for 6 from the field, 7 points out of his team 17. He's a good addition. He just sat out last year after the transfer from Vanderbilt. A big, huge bonus for his team.
Rose trying to get on the board and deliver successfully.
And you see he almost just gave us, woof, glad that went in. He's someone that can heat up, and they're going to need him to heat up.
Leading scorer on the Owls, 8th in the American in scoring. His numbers have drastically improved from last year. Really the focal point, especially in those half-court sets. Look out for him in transition. Boy, can he fly. Oborowski has the call here against the Owls. Embo will give it up here to Cornish with the floater.
Embo's having a good game. He's really controlling the offense and not just scoring for himself. He's setting his teammates up. The flow is very good down the other end for Tulane.
Brown driving and has a seam and will solo.
And that's one of the few easy baskets that Temple has so far.
10 to shoot here for Frazier. Quentin Rose all over him, really improving his defensive play. Needs to get better in limiting turnovers, says Fran Dunphy. 2 to shoot. Embo sees the shot clock winding down and gets the teardrop.
Oh, baby. He's worked on his layups. That's the 3rd floater / flipper that he's thrown up and is gone. And that's not an accident, folks. You want to sometimes say, oh, what a lucky shot right there. No. He's done it 3 or 4 times in this game already. Clearly, he's challenged himself and worked on those difficult shots. It's only a 4-foot shot, but it's a tough shot.
Give him 6 in the game for Onaembo. As Reynolds been quiet in the last couple of minutes after a hot start. Over Damian Moore. Look at that touch from the senior Reynolds.
He heard you. He heard you. And that's not what I say earlier. They take him down to the block, give him the ball on the block. He goes to work down there.
And a timeout called here by Fran Dunphy as Tulane really excelling in the transition.
Defense leads to offense. Another deflection, another steal, breakaway layup.
In studio, Big East opener for Creighton and Seton Hall in East Orange. That's Marcus Foster as the clock is winding down.
Unacceptable effort by Kadeem Carrington and the Creighton backcourt. Foster and Kyrie Thomas, one of the best in the country.
Dave, John, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Chris. Tulane clinging on a 13-5 run here, up by 11 over the Temple Owls. And across college basketball, there's 3 unbeaten in the latest AP Top 25. We mentioned Villanova. They beat DePaul last night. Arizona State really clicking with Trey Holder and Shannon Evans. And don't sleep on TCU as well. Reynolds going to drive baseline. Out to Daniels, the freshman. And here's Pierre-Louis.
Yeah, but you see, they made the extra pass to get a wide open shot, just didn't go in.
Moore trying to get the miss. It pinballs into the hands of Ray Onaembo.
Surprise, surprise.
Shayich will spot it for 3 and drains it for the Green Wave.
Extra pass again. Missed shot, turnover. They score in the secondary break. Not attacking initially going, but one extra pass, wide open shot for a guy who can make wide open shots.
4 points for Shayich and the largest lead for the Green Wave. And Ajonia counted out a foul for the Owls.
Nice strong drive right there. Nice strong drive. Put it on the floor, something he normally doesn't do. Normally, Obi is a jump shooter, but here the alley opens up so much for him, he just goes straight down. Down the other end, you see Shayich, extra pass from Frazier. Shayich gets a wide open shot. Let's go back.
Daniels on the extra pass, and look at that find to Shayich.
I love that freshman Daniels. St. Augustine's in New Orleans. He's an under-recruited kid, tough, athletic, can score, smart player. I mean, he's just growing into. He's going to be a very, very good player for them for 4 years. I mean, that's not what Temple wants.
And keep an eye on it. 16 fouls on the Green Wave. 4 minutes to go in our first half. Alston Jr. for the fadeaway. See Colin Slater also wearing number 14 at the top of your screen. That was tipped by Alani Moore. Here comes Pierre-Louis, the freshman. Blazing past corners. Here come the Temple Owls at home. There's the double by Pierre-Louis on Cornish. Officials conferring, and Pat Driscoll says it will stay on this side with the Tulane Green Wave. We reach another timeout here, but Temple is climbing back in this one, only down by 7.
Yeah, they are, and as I said earlier, it's coincided with Onaembo going to the bench.
Pierre-Louis finishes for the Temple Owls, and here comes Temple at home.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Tide. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Leno over halftime report coming your way. We've got a Big East opener for a couple of heavyweights. We'll show you highlights of that one. Plus your thoughts on the SEC, and what are your thoughts on this first half?
I've been really impressed with Tulane, their ability to run on opportunity, if not run their offense. They've been really active and alert defensively, but all of a sudden, Temple, you get stops, you create offense out of your defense, the game gets easier.
John and Dave, see you in a bit.
Thank you very much, Chris and Seth. And here come the Temple Owls, only down by 7. And this is occurring with Onaembo on the bench here.
No, I agree with what Seth just said. You know, you get stops, all of a sudden you get offense, things get easier. But it's coincided with Onaembo being on the bench. He goes out of the game at the 5:09 mark and scores 31-18. And Tulane's struggles have coincided with him getting a little blow right here. Now, they need to settle down. They need to continue to get stops and execute. Their execution in the half court hasn't been there. Temple's pressure starting to bother them a little bit.
Alston Jr. for 3 off the heel. That was tipped by Pierre-Louis, and he gets it back back as Brown will find Quentin Rose. And he gets it off the window.
They're getting a big boost. And I'm repeating myself here, but they're getting a huge boost from Pierre-Louis.
Timeout called here by Mike Dunleavy Sr. as Temple's only down by 4. Look at this ball movement and spacing perfectly executed by the Green Wave, and it ends up with a Blake ball flush. Ball is 6. He's been dominant in the last 2 games for the Green Wave with 8 and 11. That was stripped here by Frazier, and he's fouled.
Hey, man, I said earlier, he is an elite defender. No lazy passes around him. You can't just catch the ball and blindly reverse it. He gets steals. He's active. He has great anticipation. And what does it turn to? Breakaway. Nice concentration right there. That's left-handed layup with a man trying to intentionally foul him. Nice concentration.
Daniel slicing through traffic. Handed it off again to Frazier.
I say it again. I love this kid, Daniels. He knows how to play. Nice penetration. Dumps the ball off to Frazier for easy layup.
7 points for the junior. 3 to shoot here for Josh Brown. In and out. That will do it for half number 1.
Great defensive possession to end the half right there for Tulane. Their defense had slacked up a little bit. They come down, last possession of the half, lockdown, tried to get a little penetration by Brown. It's not there. He ends up taking a very difficult, tough, contested shot. Very good last play of the half for Tulane.
Great start for the Tulane Green Wave. They're up by 9 over the Temple Owls at the break. Now let's send you back to the studio.
Welcome to the Land Rover Halftime Report.
Inside to Paul again, and look at the big flush from the junior from New Orleans.
Ooh, baby. He went upstairs on that one and brought it back home.
New Year's Day, it's the college football playoff semifinals on ESPN. Number 2, Oklahoma. Number 3, Georgia. Kick things off at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific in the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual. Then number 1, Clemson faces number 4, Alabama in the All-State Sugar Bowl for the Superdome in New Orleans. Both games are also on ESPN Deportes and streaming live on the ESPN app. What do you like, John?
You know, I'm not going to profess to know anything about football. But one thing I do know is, in spite of what happened last year, this time of year, it's hard to bank against Saban and Alabama.
Green Wave are leading by 7 here against the Owls, the American Conference opener for these 2 schools. Rose trying to take Frazier. Tipped out by Ernest of Flackby into the hands of Ray Onaembo. And outlets it here to Reynolds in a mismatch with Brand. He'll take care of the rest. Dave Leno and John Thompson, the third back in Philadelphia, as Temple is trailing by 5 to Tulane. And Fran Duffy, John, says the Temple challenges itself with a rigorous schedule because Hall of Fame coach John Chaney laid that foundation to prepare his teams for the rigors of conference and postseason action. Evident by their top 15 RPI, they all should be geared up for conference play as they're already battle-tested.
No, without a doubt. And that is a wise strategy, in my opinion, by Coach Dunphy for this team, a veteran team. They were tested early on. You see quality wins over Clemson, Auburn, USC, Wisconsin. They also have a win over a South Carolina team that was a Final Four teams last year. They played in close games, 5 games decided by 4 points or fewer. So when you get into a situation like this, where they aren't playing well, they did not play well in the first half, things aren't going right, they're frustrated. They've been in enough situations to keep plugging along, to keep executing, and you see where all of a sudden you go from a situation where the biggest lead in this game was 14, now with 13 and some change, it's down to 5.
They lost to Georgia, who's clicking 9-2 this year. They also beat Marquette as well. The Green Wave leading by 5 on the road to start American Conference action. And look at that beautiful move by Frazier. Counted and a foul. Reynolds mired by 3 fouls here as Brown, an extension of Fran Dunphy out there. His pull-up game is just fascinating to watch and an adept decision maker. Last year, played 5 games, tried to give it a go with that Achilles injury in May of 2016, but in the end just had to redshirt. The first Super Tuesday of the college basketball season comes your way January 2nd on ESPN, with number 22 Texas Tech takes on number 11 Kansas. This game is also available on the ESPN app. How But Kansas lost back-to-back games to Washington and Arizona State, narrowly escaped with a win over Nebraska. The parity around college basketball right now, so fascinating to see.
You know, I think it should be noted there is parity. I think a lot of fans want to focus on, you know, the traditional powerhouses, and those schools are good. But on any given night, depending on if you come to play or not, you can win or lose.
You have Xavier, who a lot of fans are not talking about their lone loss to Arizona State, 12-1 right now. West Virginia is also clicking. They've won 11 straight since their first loss to Texas A&M to open up the year. And a good kiss off the window again for Melvin Frazier. Frazier 5 of 8 from the field with 14. Pierre-Louis back in, the freshman. Now to another freshman, Dre Berry. Pierre-Louis for 3. His first triple of the night.
He came in the first half and gave them a huge boost. Let's see if he can do it again. Like the way he sits down, really guards the ball. They go to the flex action again. They're going back to Frazier on the block.
Pierre-Louis, the best on-ball defender for Temple, charged to Ona Embo. Paul from 10.
I don't know if that's what Coach wanted, but we'll take it when it goes in, baby.
And he's got 10 in the game. In his 4th double-figure game this season for Blake Ball. Quentin Rose from straight away.
So smooth. So smooth. Such an efficient offensive player.
He's got 14 in the game, clipsing 44% from downtown. 8, Shiz Alston Jr. and Josh Brown spacing the floor. As Rick Crawford is going to halt play here, and a timeout appears to be called by the Tulane Green Wave. They're leading here by 4 over the Temple Owls in the American Conference opener.
Temple fans, the Owls women's
Temple starting to creep back in, but it's going to happen. This guy Rose is going to have to be one of the ones to make it happen. He's playing with a little confidence, which they're going to need. Temple's going to need as we come down the stretch here.
Here's the freshman Daniels.
for the basket for number 10, Yellow Daniels.
And what happened right there, which what we didn't see in the first half, when Slater came into the game, he created for others. He had nice penetration right there, kicked it to an open Daniels who made the shot. In the first half, when Slater came in, Temple's offense got a little stagnant.
Mike Dunleavy, senior, said that Caleb Daniels reminds him of Eric Gordon coming out of Indiana, who he drafted at the Los Angeles Clippers with his shot. He's someone to keep an eye out for, and that's high praise.
That's very high praise if you're going to compare him to Eric Gordon. But Coach would know.
There he is again and finishes.
That looked a little Gordon-esque, if you want to call it that. Kid's a player. Kid's just a player. Don't need to try to give him a position, a number. He's a basketball player.
Brings solid depth to the wing. There's no question about that.
A high skill level individually and collectively for that to happen, but Tulane definitely is moving in that direction.
Pierre-Louis driving a little out of control, but gets the home roll for Temple.
Okay, let me show you my layup game too.
Pinball's back down to a 6-point game here in Philly. Give Pierre-Louis, the freshman, 7 points. Frazier looking for Slater and finishes.
Okay, Mr. Frazier, let me run the point, get my teammates an easy basket. Nice hard cut right there. Good pass, good finish.
And that's Jonia wants to take Reynolds. Here's 4 for the elbow. Had a monstrous game against South Carolina. First career double-double. 20 points and 10 boards. Frazier tried to dive in. That was tipped by Annette Jonia. Here comes Rose, and Pierre-Louis will take care of the rest.
There we go. Both teams are playing the same game, meaning defensive pressure, defensive mistakes turns into easy baskets down the other end.
Creighton and Seton Hall playing at the Prudential Center tonight. Creighton had the big halftime lead, but Seton Hall came all the way back to retake the lead. This is Marcus Foster's only bucket so far in the second half. Really good one, though. Creighton by 1. About 3.5 minutes left to go, Dave.
Thank you very much, Chris. We have a great game here as Tulane is leading by 4. Tonight on ESPN, after the Valero Alamo Bowl, stick around for SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. He'll break down Bryce Love's big season after what could be his final game for Stanford. Plus, the Celtics host the Rockets, the big test for title contenders, and a special look back at the best oh-no moments of 2017. Paul stepping out of delivery.
They're giving him that. They're sloughing off of him, trying to help on the post, on Reynolds, who is posting. And Temple's basically saying, if you keep making that, we're going to give you that, big fella. If you keep making it, keep taking it. We'll see if Coach Duffy makes an adjustment.
Lengthening it to a 2-possession game, and look at Moore fly.
For the score.
Nice little deception right there. Fake the handoff, spun hard. Nice dribble down the lane to his right. As I said, he's extremely talented. He's big, he's long, he's a bright kid. He just has to learn how to compete night in, night out at this level. And he needs to learn that fast.
And you're right about the Green Wave. Last year up by 15 at half over SMU, lost that game. Also nearly had a game in hand against East Carolina, and as you mentioned, against the Temple Owls too. Only won 3 conference games last year. Frazier for 3, and he gets the bag.
He called it. I heard him call it. Didn't play summer ball, so was significantly, in my opinion, under-recruited. Ends up at Tulane, but I think he's a big-time player.
He spent about 18 weeks in the weight room just strengthening his body. They say he's ready as any freshman can be. 7-point game now. On Embo will work with Paul. Reynolds posting up Brown to the mismatch.
Hey, man, he's worked on his game. He has put in the work.
Last winning season, 2012-2013, when Tulane went 20 and 15. Brown coasting in for 2.
Tough led by Brown, but this is a different Tulane team. They have confidence, they believe. A year into it, second year in the coaching system, they know what coaches want. You see they're really, this whole game, have really defended Temple well. Like I said, 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Can they finish it out? This is still a game.
That's over Pierre-Louis on Embo. On the switch, and Echonia guarding him. Over Obi for 3. And Reynolds misses the bunny. Josh Brown with the Euro step and a blocking foul called by Pat Driscoll.
4th foul, 3 minutes to go. I don't think they can afford to lose him tonight.
Pierre-Louis will find Quentin Rose. Good spin move over Frazier, misses it. Austin Jr. cleans up for Temple.
Money time, money time.
Got a timeout called by Fran Duffy. Seeing his Owls climb back, they're right now down by 5 to Tulane.
He makes them both.
Embo really delivering in the matchup. Give him 11 in the game. And here comes Austin Jr. with an assertiveness to the cup.
Austin.
4 in double figures for the Green Wave. Melvin Frazier's had a fantastic game as well. Improved his shooting throughout. In fact, leads the team in 3-throw shooting. And if you followed Tulane last year, that was something that he really needed to work on in the offseason, especially in moments like this. You see their numbers fantastic tonight.
And he did. He put in the work, and it's paying off.
19.7 assists for Frazier. Rose, count it, and a foul for Temple's Quentin Rose. And Rose converts at the charity strike. Now a 4-point game, full court pressure here from Temple. Cornish gets the timeout for the Tulane Green Wave.
4-point game with Ona Embo fouled out of the game. We're going to see. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun coming down the stretch here.
While we have a timeout, let's go back to Bristol for an update. Chris Cotter, all yours.
Okay, Dave, just a reminder, we've got Josh Perkins and Gonzaga coming up, opening up West Coast Conference play against Pacific. They're going to tip as soon as you guys wrap things up there in Philadelphia. So a good one in the second half of our doubleheader here on ESPN2. You guys got a good finish there, though, until we get there.
Yes, we do a 4-point game. Tulane, the leading Temple here as the Owls are trying to avenge an 18-point loss to Georgia. And a 6-point game.
Now let's see if Tulane can build a wall. They're going right to the rim.
Under a minute to play at the Leah Center. Alston Jr. Alani Moore for 3. Nate Pierre-Louis, the freshman, tried to get it. Instead, Slater was there. Cornish looking for Frazier. Hand delivers for the Green Wave.
Great pass by Cornish.
Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. It's the Goodyear Cotton Ball Classic as Sam Darnold at number 8 USC square off against J.T. Barrett at number 5 Ohio State. Available on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Buckeyes won the Big Ten title over Wisconsin, claiming their 36th championship. Tulane leading here by 8 over Temple out of the timeout. 23 seconds to go in regulation.
See if they send someone long. Shoot Reynolds up, shoot someone long.
Cornish to inbound for Tulane. We'll find the freshman Daniels. St. Pierre-Louis trying to get the strip here. Slater has it. Down low for Frazier, and he finishes it off.
Press offense just the way Coach drew it up.
10 seconds to go. Alston Jr. can't find it. Here's an Etchionia. Pierre-Louis will clean up the scraps. Timeout going to be called again by the Temple Owls with 5.2 to go.
Well, you know, I've said we're going to see how much and if this Tulane Green Wave team has grown up. I think they've shown us that you have. Making key plays, making the hustle plays, making the winning plays coming down the stretch here. Daniels, great reception right there. Slater creates separation, drops it off to Mr. Frazier, who's having an outstanding game at both ends. You know, one thing I think is important. This Temple Owls team is a very, very good team. Now, they've had two, this will be the second disappointing loss. You know, they go down to Georgia and don't play well. You know, they're coming in here and home league opener surprised by a Tulane team. Now, they just have to settle down. You know, Coach Dunphy's been doing this as long as and as well as anyone in the business right now. And he'll get them in the right mindset. This is a veteran group. This is a team that's been through. This is a team also, I think, that is significantly better than last year. And I think as the year goes on, you're going to see that. They can't get too down. In conference play, you can't get down. You have to bounce back. You have to regroup. You have to learn lessons, but you can't let one loss become 5.
And look at the windmill dunk by Melvin Frazier. Give him 25 in the game.
It only makes sense that we end up with that man doing that. Great game by Frazier. Great game.
What a performance by Tulane on the road. They win it by 10 over the Temple Owls. 3 in a row for the Green Wave.
And I think they sent a message to the rest of the conference. We're not the same group of guys that you've been playing against the last couple of years. We're for real. We have length. We have athleticism. We can bother you at the defensive end. And you better watch out for us on the offensive end also.
That's all from Philadelphia. College basketball continues next as Pacific faces Gonzaga. So let's send you out to the McCarthy Athletic Center in Spokane.
Healthy New Year.